But we do have a couple of news things to talk about. Not comic book news things, but we do have a couple of other media to talk about. TV show up first, because we got a trailer for the new Batman animated series. Batman Cape Crusader is coming on August 1st from Amazon Prime, because Max didn't want it anymore, so Prime's putting it out. But fine,
Zaslav will pay for his crimes.
we still get it. It's fine. So yeah, got a new teaser trailer, and this is the one that we got. Obviously, Bruce Timm's working on it, but we also, I think, Ed Brubaker's in the writing credits for this one. So yeah, we got a look at it. What do you think of the trailer, Matt?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that's Kevin Conroy, right?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
I was like, was this one of the last things he worked on before he passed? Because that voice is very Kevin Conroy.
I'll give you the names here. So Hamish Linklater is Bruce Wayne, Christina Ricci is Selena Kyle, Jamie Chung is Harley Quinn, McKenna Grace, Reed Scott, and John DiMaggio are also in it, but they've not specified who they're playing yet.
Wow. He sounds just like Kevin Conroy. Good on Hamish Linklater.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks good. I didn't realize it looked like, is it supposed to be taking place in the 40s, like 30s, 40s?
They're definitely going for that aesthetic even more than the original animated series was. But it is its own new show. It's not tied to any previous incarnation. What's interesting to me is I'm very curious if how episodic this is going to be, or is this going to have like a season-long arc that it's going through? I actually don't know. But they're dropping all, I think, 10 episodes on August 1st. Is that what I said?
Yes, August 1st.
Yeah. I do kind of wish it was weekly, because I just prefer TV weekly.
It keeps saying, it's like, I didn't realize The Bear, so the new season of The Bear dropped this week.
Yeah.
And I thought that was weekly, and it's not. They dropped them all at one time. So I saw someone go, oh, I just watched it all. And I was like, oh, great. So, well, at least I have time now. I don't have to rush through it. But I like it better when it's weekly, because then it's more fun to talk about as it goes.
Yeah, because people can't get ahead, so you can be in the conversation a bit easier and know that people are alongside. I mean, I know people who like the binge method always say, well, why don't you just agree with like 2 or 3 friends to just watch it at the same pace? I'm like, that's never going to work. They're never going to stick to it. So yeah, forcing people to watch it at a reasonable pace is not a bad thing in my my opinion.
No, I mean that's worked for what's X-Men 97. They were putting those out weekly, and it seemed to be in the cultural landscape way longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, people were talking about it for 10 weeks or whatever it was, because it was people were anticipating the new episode. It builds some hype. It makes it more exciting. Anywho, this does look pretty good. I found myself really into it. It does feel like the closest to the original Batman, the animated series, in style since then. It feels like it's going for a slightly darker tone. Not that it'll be inappropriate for kids or anything like that, but just enough that it feels like,
It feels like the animated series got a PG-13 rating.
Yeah. But it has that sort of dark look to it, that sort of noir. So they're really leaning heavily into the 40s kind of style of like Batman's got he doesn't have purple gloves, but he's got like black gloves that look more like the old school Golden Age gloves than like your modern style. His
ears look a little bit longer, right?
Well, a bit more curved, I would say. They've got that sort of curve to them,
Catwoman looks like she's in her. That's why I asked if it was the 40s. It looks like her first appearance costume, but maybe that storyline type thing.
Yeah, the trailer does show you some glimpses of like their Two-Face, who looks again a little bit different, because he's got like he doesn't have like the sort of the strict color difference in his face. It's just kind of like burns on the other side. Yeah,
it's almost like his face was melting. Right, and it seems to be the opposite, because every time, usually when we see Two-Face, it's his left side. This time it was his right side, so that got me a little bit.
Yeah, they teased Penguin, they teased what I think was Clayface, and obviously there's a Harley Quinn, as we mentioned. So and she also looks very different. It's not your traditional animated series Harley Quinn.
I believe she called herself the Jester in that in the voiceover portion of the trailer.
Well, I don't know if she was calling herself Jester as if that was her name, or more, because she was basically using a metaphor of like the Jester's taking over the castle kind of thing. So I don't know if she was referring to herself as the Jester, but I don't know if she was saying that's her title.
Gotcha.
But I guess we'll find out. When the show hits.
No, it looks pretty good. I mean, I still have a soft spot for the animated series. It's I started watching it again I'd say a couple months ago. And, you know, just comfort episodes, ones that I remember as a kid. And it still pretty much holds up for being like a 30-year-old show.
Yeah, it'll be
still pretty solid.
Interesting to see how this... Because obviously the animated series got a HD remaster and it looks quite good. And I know Mask of Phantasm got a 4K upgrade as well. But obviously that's coming from older elements. I'm very curious to see how the animation this is going to look. Because, you know, it's a new show, so it'll be in 4K. Yeah. It'll have the HDR and all the rest of it. So I'm curious to see how that style translates to the modern world where we've got all these extra bells and whistles to really make it stick out. So, but no, it looks promising. It definitely does. So that is cool. And then the other bit of news is this is kind of follow up to something we did last week or the week before, which is we had the set photo of the Superman movie, and it was like just a newspaper. This week, bit more notable is that we've got a bunch of shots of Superman in costume on set. We even have Mr. Terrific in costume. Lois is kicking around as well there, but obviously you don't really have to talk about her outfit in the same way.
I mean, they've used her distinct purple jacket, which I am a fan of.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I will say this. The Superman outfit, now that we're seeing it without that super stylized lighting that was in that photograph, it does look nice and bright and colourful, which is great. I'm still not in love with the collar being there. I'd rather the cape was tucked in. But I will say it looks better than that photo presented it to begin with.
It looks in that setting, which are, you know, they're what's that called? Like candid, you know, they're set photos where they're just kind of walking around and everyone's kind of at ease. It looks very natural, right? It looks like Superman. You don't have to focus on all the lines that I still think are too busy, kind of all over it and whatnot. But
yeah, the lines and sort of the chunkiness to the shoulder area look a bit much to me, but it does look better than it did that first photo. It's actually kind of insane that overly, I assume, very well stylized thought out photo where they put a lot of time and effort. Okay, what was the first image anyone's going to see of our Superman? We're going to sit and like put a lot of work into it, and the thing they put out showed it in the worst possible light, and now we see it on set with just natural daylight, and it's like, oh, it actually looks like a Superman outfit now. So yeah, honestly, the belt and the trunk's actually kind of my favorite part of it, bizarrely. Not to just focus on his cock, but like it just looks nice and bright and colorful, and because the last outfits in the movies didn't have that,
it just
feels
drab.
It feels refreshing to see it that way.
And then we also kind of got a roll call of some of the Daily Planet staff, which I liked, which seems like they're going to have at least, you know, small roles in the movie as well. So
sure.
You know, we get to see the first image of Cat Grant, which looks exactly like I thought she would, which is nice. So very, you know, warming up to this more. I'm trying not to let myself get excited, but you know, I trust James Gunn.
I mean, you're going to be excited. Let's face it. I mean, this is coming out summer 2025, currently scheduled, and then Supergirl, you know, Women of Tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to use that title necessarily, but that's coming out planned for 2026. So somehow we've ended up in a world where we're getting two super movies back-to-back years. So we'll see how that works out. And I hope I'm excited for this. I hope I want to go see it because, you know, not just the MCU that I've like dipped out on for the last few years, but I've not even seen any of the DC movies from the last few years. I've just not wanted to. So I really hope this shakes things up and just looks like a good movie, because I would really like to be excited again. And I do wonder, actually, if me just avoiding all the superhero movies of the last few years will just help, because I'm not going to feel... You know, I've given myself a break. I've not paid attention to them as much.
Here's the thing with at least the DC ones. They're very forgettable. So even if you have seen them, you'll forget about it.
I mean, the Marvel ones were pretty forgettable, the last several I saw too.
Yeah, but I don't want to always beat up on Marvel, you know. But like Shazam, I forgot that I've seen Fury of the Gods. I watched it at home, you know. It was fine. I still haven't watched Aquaman 2, though. I don't feel like I can go through that. It seems like too much.
What about The Flash, Matt? You not watched The Flash yet?
Hell no. You'd have to pay me good money. We'd have to do a fundraiser like we did for Batman v Superman, the extended cut. Have to do some kind of fundraiser to get me to watch that.